Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing good. In this video, I thought I would do my first guitar lesson. I'm gonna do a lesson of Change in the House of Flies by Deftones. It's an amazing song. The guitar is tuned to drop C, just so you know. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the lesson. Alright, so let's just jump right into the song here. So in the intro, what you're gonna play is this. And I'm gonna refer to this as a standard tuned guitar so that it is a little bit easier to think about where you're gonna place your fingers. So first you're gonna strum the open E string. Then you also have your index finger on the 8th fret of the A string. And then on the G string you also fret the 10th fret with your ring finger. And you're also gonna mute the D string with your index finger here. So it sounds like that. So the D string is inaudible, like that. Then you come down to the 5th fret and you fret with your index finger the 5th fret of all the bottom bass strings, the E, A, and D string. But after a few strums, you bring your pinky finger down to the 8th fret of the D. And you kind of switch back and forth between the 8th and the 7th of the D string with your pinky finger and your ring finger, like so. And then you come back to that first again. And what's interesting about the intro that is a little bit different compared to the verse is that you're gonna play this part on the 4th bar. And then the song starts. So what you would usually play during the verse is, so you would end with the 7th fret of the D string in that case. The verse is almost the exact same thing. So you play that for a few bars and then we arrive at the chorus, which goes like this. So what I'm basically doing here is I am playing the open strings of E, A, and D. And I'm also putting my index finger on the 2nd fret of the G. And I'm also putting my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B. And I'm muting with that middle finger, I'm muting the E string. So that E string is inaudible. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over here. Again, you're gonna fret the 3 bottom strings, E, A, and D. You put your pinky on the 10th fret of the G. And then you put your ring finger on the 10th fret of the D, occasionally like this. So I like to think of it as 2 strums on the pinky, with the pinky. And a couple of strums there with your ring finger. And then you go back to that previous one again, the previous chord. And then you play that for a few bars and there you have the chorus. The way that the song is structured is you have the intro, then you have a verse, a chorus, another verse and another chorus, so you just repeat what you learned. But then we come to this bridge which goes like this. And you're basically using one of the chords that we already used in the chorus that I showed you. But in addition to that, you're starting with this one, which is basically like a big monster mutant power chord if you want. So you again put your index finger across the first three strings, so E, A, and D. But in addition to that, you put your ring finger on the 5th fret of the G, and then your pinky all over here on the 6th fret of the B. And then again, we're muting the E string. So it sounds like this. After the bridge, there's a breakdown where there's very little other instruments being played. So you play the end of the bridge like this. And on an open E. And I actually think that he's playing multiple notes here. So you're ending on that open E. Then you play the 5th fret of the E once. Then you put your pinky finger on the 8th fret of the D. Play 3 times. You go down to the 7th fret of the D with your ring finger. And then to the 8th fret of the D, no, the A, sorry. And play that 3 times as well. And then back to the 7th fret of the D, play a couple of times. And then back to the A again, and 2 times there as well. So all together. And then you return back to that open E string. So the first one. And now the second one. So very similar to the first one. 8th fret of the D, 7th fret of the D, the 8th fret of the A, then the 7th fret of the A, and then 2 notes on the 7th fret of the D again. Now the third time is similar to the first one. But the fourth and final time is a little bit different. So you just end on the 7th fret of the D string, of the A, sorry, with a single note that's prolonged like that. So altogether it would sound like this. After that breakdown, we return back to the verse again, but this time it's even more heavy than the first few times that we played it. So yeah, it's more strummy, you put more force into it. Chorus as well, it's the exact same thing as we played before, just put more emphasis into it, more power, so to speak. There's also yet another bridge that comes after the chorus, just as before. You play it the same way, but with a little bit more emphasis. And then at the very end of the song, it returns back to something similar to what we played in the verse, but it's played in a much more simplistic pattern like this instead. So this is kind of the outro of the song. So you play that 4 times in total, and on the last final 4th time, you're gonna play it like this. So you kind of end on just strumming the 5th fret of the E, A, and D. So you kind of climb down the neck with your pinky first on the 8th fret of the D, then the 7th fret of the D with your ring finger, and then finally just the 5th fret, just as with the other strings. And yeah, that's the end of the song. At the end here, I just want to mention that we do have a 2-week guitar technique bootcamp that starts on September 20th. We actually had a bootcamp that's going on right now as you're watching this video. It's basically a bootcamp, an online community on Discord and through my Patreon page, my membership page, where we're a group of like 5-10 people. We're trying to basically just become better at playing a specific technique. So if you want to get better at slapping, Midwestern emo tapping, if you want to learn how to play arpeggios better, this is the group that you have to be a part of. I'm telling you, all right? I'm telling you, if you're sick and tired of just playing alone, if you're tired of boring ass practice sessions, and you just want to really stop procrastinating on your practice, then this is the shit, all right? This is the shit.
10 out of 10, would recommend.
I really enjoyed it. I am playing a lot of new things now.
It's all really, really interesting stuff, and I'm really glad I joined.
So what you can do right now to sign up is to click the link in the description below to sign up for a call. We're going to do a short 20-minute call just so that I can figure out whether or not you're a good fit for the bootcamp. We only want serious people to join. So make sure you do that if you're interested, and we can figure out if you're a good fit for it, all right? So yeah, that's the end of it all. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.